everyone. Welcome back to Poets and Quants' Must Reads, a quick, digestible recap of the top business school news sponsored by Center Court, our virtual admission events. I'm your host, Christy Bleizeffer, and I'll be highlighting the most important P&Q stories you might have missed. So let's get to it. Number 1, the top master and management programs in the United States. The MBA is the top graduate business degree in the United States. But in Europe, the preferred degree has long been the Master in Management. But are USB schools coming around to the appeal of the latter program, a shorter, cheaper alternative with younger cohorts of students? US MIMs are still underappreciated, and the only major ranking of MIM programs remains highly Eurocentric. But observers of graduate business education trends agree that MIMs are primed to grow in importance in the US as companies do away with rational programs for humanities majors and want people who can hit the ground running. Poets and Quants has compiled a list of 32 Master in Management programs at 28 B schools in the United States, ranging wildly in cost, mode of delivery, admission requirements, and class compositions. You can find the full list on our homepage. Number 2, the rise and fall of a Harvard Business School superstar. In 2018, Adam Grant, the world-renowned organizational psychologist and superstar professor at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School, offered enthusiastic praise for the latest book by his colleague and research collaborator. Francesca Gino is the best kind of rebel, the one who doesn't just break the rules, but invents a better way. Perhaps the blurb was unintentionally prescient. Gino, an award-winning behavioral scientist at Harvard Business School, has been accused of breaking the rules quite brazenly in at least 4 published research papers and possibly more. A spate of news articles in the last several days detailed instances in which Gino is accused of fabricating data and manipulating results. In at least one paper, a study examining ways to elicit more honest responses, has since been retracted. You can read more about Gino's academic rise and recent allegations on our homepage. Number 3, deans on the move. In case you missed it, it's migration season for business school deans. Several elite programs have announced new deans in the last several weeks, and our new Poets and Quants newsletter, Case Study, has the rundown. Keenan Flager hired its first female dean ever with Mary Margaret Frank. Anu Mehrotra, Dean of George Washington School of Business since 2018, will take over as Dean of the Georgia Tech Scheller Scholar of Business on January 1st. And Larry Chip Hunter has been named Dean of Temple University's Fox School of Business. These are just the latest announcement for B School deans' comings and goings. To keep up with all the moves, be sure to subscribe to Case Study, a monthly newsletter designed for decision makers and educators. You can subscribe to the newsletter through the link in our news tab. Number 4, our weekly roundup of news you can use. No matter where you are in your MBA journey, we bring several helpful stories for you this week. First up, Dear First-Year MBAs. This story from a Wharton MBA offers advice on what he wished he'd known before starting the vaulted program. You can find it on our homepage. Next, non-traditional jobs for MBAs. There's a plethora of unique job opportunities for MBAs if you know where to look. This story, posted on our homepage, also offers tips for negotiating a killer MBA salary. And finally, MBA application deadlines for the 2023-2024 admission cycle. This story, in our admission tab, lists all the MBA application deadlines for the world's top business schools, and it's updated as more are announced. And that's it for this week's Must Reads recap. I also want to alert all the school seekers out there to our upcoming online MBA admission event. In these virtual panels, you'll hear from admission gurus and career experts from leading business schools around the world. Our next event is July 18th and 19th, and you can register now for free. Again, I'm Christy Bleizeffer, and you can join me next week right here for a recap of what's important in the world of business education. Thanks for listening, and as always, stay informed.